Welcome to the third Lightning Talk event put on by the team at KEEZ. The premise here is to give community members a 5-minute spotlight to talk about whatever they want in whatever medium they prefer. With these Lightning Talks, and ultimately KEEZ in general, we are trying to set up an environment where information and knowledge is constantly being shared and dispersed. Come and share because your words may spark inspiration in the minds of others and drive new innovation in the LUKSO ecosystem. We're aiming to do these weekly. It seems like we're settling in on a Tuesday as the day, but times will continue to rove around as we want to be able to get as many people to participate in their time zones as possible. These talks will be recorded by the man Rob G down below and posted on our YouTube. If you're a presenter and don't want your talk published, that's fine. Let me know and we can edit you out. As always, feedback on Lightning Talks is welcome. If you have any opinion on how we may be able to do these better moving forward, don't hesitate to let me know. A quick disclaimer as well. People may choose to use this time to talk about a project they are working on or something they have invested in. KEEZ does not endorse anything brought up in these chats, and as always, do your own research. So this week we have 5 people scheduled to present. We got Heisenburgir, who's going to come up here and go first. Followed by sound is messed up. Followed by Octop, and then myself, and then Repeatr, and then we got Fawn coming. So I'll invite Heisenburgir up here, and we can get this thing cracking. Again, if anybody has any questions during the show, feel free to fire them off in the chat, and then I'll get them off to Heisenburgir before he gets off the stage. Rob G won't be around with the recording for the time this week, so I'll do the time on my side. I'll just turn my camera off, and then when I come back on camera, that means there's 30 seconds left, and then if I need to, I can buzz you. So Heisenburgir, let me know when you're good, and I will start the timer.
Yeah, all good. Hi again, everyone. Great to be here again. Thanks, Sage and KEEZ for hosting this. I have a couple of updates tomorrow with regards to projects that I'm working on. Tomorrow we'll be releasing DeFolio, so be on the lookout for that. We also finished working on a wrapped LUKSO contract. So the current wrapped LUKSO that you see on LUKSO mainnet is an ERC20, and this is used by SigmaSwap to bridge between ETH mainnet and LUKSO, as far as I understand, if I remember correctly. But we did kind of our own version, which is an LSP7. So you'll be able to wrap your LUKSO not as an ERC20, but as an LSP7. So we're testing that on testnet, and we're going to see how that works out. And and then the second one, I guess, is that we're also kind of continuing to test Uniswap V3 contracts. Hopefully that will work out. So we're also waiting for build up 3. Because we have some ideas with the V3 that we want to implement, and a hackathon would be a great way to kind of experiment and showcase things, and then maybe get a W with the hackathon, and then continue to build up and do an audit potentially. But the second topic that I want to touch upon is the reputation system. There's been a lot of talk about it past week or so, and people who have been in the community know what's up with that. I mean, I just want to kind of throw around some ideas. Like, for example, one of the ideas I had is that we could, or like the Common Ground guys can implement this pop system within Common Ground. So, for example, when you attend these Lightning Talks, the host, which would be Sage, could airdrop everyone these pop tokens, which can be like a proof of participation. And then that can further be used to kind of gain points in some type of contract that we deploy, and then that would be your on-chain reputation. And this can also be like, you can also use like on-chain activities. So if you have interacted with some contracts, or if you held some tokens and how long, this can also play into that. So yeah, I just want to kind of throw these ideas out, and maybe someone else can come up with something better. But yeah, so these are definitely what we can do. And since Common Ground is focused on Web3, it's like a Web3 Discord. I think having this natively would be a really cool feature, to be honest. Like, you host something and then you can simply click a button and you drop a pop. I mean, that would be great. So, but yeah, that's all. And excited to see what you guys think about the DeFolio, because we did a little bit of work And then yeah, I mean, excited for the news and every other project. There's the coffee beans. There was a whitelist I minted. Got a blue one, so that was cool. But yeah, we're excited for the public mint as well. So yeah, that was it. I guess if there are any questions, let me know.
Exciting to hear that DeFolio is going live tomorrow. Heisenberg, I think you made some great points too. Let us not forget that this app that we're in, we are all connecting with our ups right now, which is, being able to connect to something like this with a blockchain-based profile makes for different use cases that we've never been able to see before, just as you highlighted with me being able to reward both yourself for presenting and the people in the audience for coming, and then being able to leverage that in tokenized systems is awesome. Very excited. I know Florian is super keen on those ideas as well. So hopefully they have some fun stuff like that in the background.
There was a question from Presto. What if Build Up 3 doesn't come for a couple of months since we don't have a set date? So, would you stall this for LUKSO? So, I think LUKSO said that we should wait for February. Now, um, if they announce Build Up 3 to be like within a couple of months, I don't think it's logical to delay it. I mean, the changes that we're making is pretty basic. We're not going to be implementing like complex, like breaking changes that really require like truly like 6 month long audits. It would be very simple, right? Just so people are able to kind of use LSP8 tokens. So I don't think like if build up 3 again is not planned for next month, and then if they say, for example, that build up starts at in I don't know 10th of February and then goes for 1 month, I think that's a pretty reasonable timeline. But if they say that hey, it's gonna be like I don't know April from whatever, then we would definitely not delay the decks.
All right, Heisenberg, appreciate it. I will also close this section out too with, I know Squigs was hitting me up on Twitter about more reputation system things. So I think we're going to get a channel started in the KEEZ Discord just around planning and more of this kind of group think around what a rep system on LUKSO might look like. So when I open that up, we'll be sure to tweet out from the KEEZ Twitter when it's live. So if you're interested, join in.
Thanks.
All right, talk to you later, Heisenberg. We got Repeatr coming up here, so I'll promote him up. Repeatr, what's going on, man?
GM, chilling in the morning. Nice way to start the day.
Yeah, getting some LUKSO alpha. It's great to hear from you too, because I haven't seen much of you around LUKSO, so it'll be cool to kind of reverse pink pill the people down here on what you're all about. So when you're good to go, let me know.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I guess I am pretty new to LUKSO, and this will be kind of, I guess, an introductory bit of info about me and why I'm here and what I do. So I'm an NFT artist. I'm a full-time artist in real life as well. I paint like massive, large-scale murals, like professional street artist in real life. I've been making art for professionally for almost 15 years. Been a very, very long time. I came into the Web3 space via Phantom, doing NFTs over there. There was like a really cool kind of underground NFT scene, which I sort of learned about the whole space in. And yeah, currently just exploring my way through sort of new things. And I actually got pink pilled probably 12 months ago by if any of you guys know Tombheads. He's a pretty good mate of mine, and yeah, so I've recently sort of exploring the art and the NFTs in the space, and I'm basically, yeah, I guess I'm really excited just to find somewhere that I think is new and fresh, that I can play with some art and drop some heat, hopefully. I brought a couple of really cool kind of story-driven ideas to life on Phantom. And so I think with all the experience I gained there, I'm hoping to bring something with like a really cool narrative and start to build a little bit of a universe over here on LUKSO with what I'm bringing. For anyone that has seen any of my art, I kind of do specialized like one-of-one stuff. character based normally, and normally with the view that it's good for PFP use and stuff as well. I really like to build background and a lot amongst my characters and the world that they kind of live in. So that's where, if anyone's seen on Twitter, the Enclave previews that I've been putting out, these will be a collection of 20 one-of-ones, all hand-drawn, or like hand-painted, I guess you would call it. Yeah, and that's where I'll start in on LUKSO. I'm not sure yet anything to do with price or when they'll drop. I'm hoping that they'll be very accessible for everybody, and that they can give some value in the long run as well. And yeah, that's pretty much about me and what I'm doing here. If anyone has any questions on the artwork, on the collection, feel free to hit me up wherever. But yeah, it's early days. I'll be dropping previews as they are sort of warranted as I get through the artwork. So I reckon I'm halfway through finalizing all the 20 tokens. So yeah, exciting times. It's good for me to be here in a new space, meet new people, and obviously super excited about LUKSO and UP and all that stuff. It's as we all know, going to be a bit of a game changer. I guess the the world I came from on Phantom was kind of primitive for NFTs. So there was a lot of really like creative outside the box thinking on how to make all these projects work and stuff. So yeah, excited to be here. Thanks for having me. And yeah, I hope I can get some sick art for everyone out there.
Sweet, man. Yeah. Great to hear from you. I hope so too. I love sick art. I think it'd be very cool for you to be able to do, like, I love when people do physical collections or like a physical piece that's tied to digital counterparts. Some sort of like QR code that you could get posted on the bottom of one of your huge murals to connect it to some digital versions of it. I think would be very cool. But nice. So one other thing I wanted to add as well, Presto asked for your Twitter. In the YouTube video that we'll put for the recording of this, we'll put your Twitter and some contact information. If there's anything else that you want to share as like a go check this out, definitely send me that and we'll get it posted in the description as well.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks for that. Will do. Just on that as well, actually, on Phantom, one of my latest collections there before the scene sort of died out was actually physical paintings that were about 1.5 meters squared, all painted aerosol and then digitized and put on the blockchain and sent out to buyers. So that was a sort of a first for me as well to see on Phantom, especially that kind of digital and physical artwork. I'm pretty sure on my Twitter I have my all my links in my bio and everything with all those collections and Instagram and all that. So yeah,
Cool.
Feel free to head over there and check all that out.
Nice. Already ahead of the game, man. That works. So great to hear from you. Again, these are open every week. So if you want to talk about another drop or anything else at any point, definitely just hit me up. We can get you back on.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I might take you up on that and come back with some more Enclave previews when they're done.
Heat. Sounds good. All right, let's try to get Octop up here. I'm going to promote him up. Great to hear from you, Repeatr.
Thanks, man. Thanks, everyone.
Octop, how are you?
Hi. So very excited to be here. I'm from the One Collection team. Thanks for having me here. Yeah, so today I'd like to tell about two things. So first about the upcoming launch, and the second one is the wonderful community event that we had that just finished yesterday. And so in general, our collection is the photography profile picture collection that we'll launch on a Thursday. And the idea came up like at the beginning of the last year when we were looking at all of the opens there. We noticed that the photos are not very popular as the art compared to the profile pictures. But at the same time, profile pictures, they don't have much fantasy around the backgrounds. And so we started to think like how to connect the two things. And our main idea was that that we want to transform the landscape photos into some sort of profile pictures. And we were looking around the natural landscapes around, and I connected to the photographer who has like 20 years of experience there. And we came up with the idea. So the main idea is that we want to look at the water distortions and reflections. And because this is kind of the thing that produces symmetrical shapes like the faces. And this is kind of the main secret of our collection. And to make it more interesting, of course, we have some rarities in the collection. For instance, like how you can think about this. So of course, to make a profile picture, you still need to combine several photos. But of course, the photos that need the less number of combinations, let's say there is one just reflection that has mouth, eyes, nose, then it's kind of the rarest one. And this is kind of the global idea of our collection. And then we were thinking how we want to launch this. And instead of the whitelisting, we decided to have a summer community event. And at the same time, there was a burnt pics coming out, and everyone was refining them all the time. And so we decided to run a 1 week long event where everyone can refine, and those who refine top 3 will get the rewards. And so actually we started with like 32K of iterations, and then we end up with 5.5 million iterations. So we're top 4. So if you look there, it's a nice red dragon, not the one that Peter, but our own red dragon that we minted. And so actually it's very nice. So it became like much bigger event that actually we expected. And we also reimbursed to the guests for everyone. And what was fun is that in total we had like 14 participants. And and I think it's actually very great for those who don't have, for example, that many funds, but have more effort and time, because this can reward those community members that that wanted the most. Because I think like the first guy, I think he did like 2.5 thousand iterations manually. And so of course it's quite some time to do. And we really enjoyed this event. And actually, we decided to give part of our collection to most of the people who are refining at least 100 times. And I think it was a challenge for us to do a leaderboard because people used different methods, different wallets. And actually, it was quite a challenge, but we managed to do this. Yeah, and I think it was a great success. Maybe we'll repeat it in the future. Very excited for the launch. Hope we'll have some more events soon. Yeah, thanks.
Nice. Yeah, we love a unique whitelist creation. I think that's awesome. And cool to see it played out well. Cool to see that you guys reimburse the gas too. That's awesome. I'm sure the community loves
Yeah,
that.
this is kind of the Lux Fabian topic to reimburse the gas to the validators. Yeah, this was pretty cool.
Right. Cool. Well, great to hear from you again. Same thing with Repeatr. I mean, it's awesome. I wasn't even aware of your profile or your project, so it's great to see new faces around LUKSO. And anytime you want to come back on the Lightning Talks, just hit me up. We can get you on.
Yeah, sure. I mean, we are quite for quite time around because I mean, I'm was part of the build up one hackathon and we won some prizes there, but it was like some time ago. So we have some community as well.
Sounds like I need to pay more attention. Okay, we will. Octop, I'm going to send you down here. We have Fawn last. I'm going to break up in between Octop and Fawn, so I will get a quick 5 minutes in real quick. So, hi everyone again. I'm Sage. I'm your Lightning Talk host, longtime KEEZ core contributor, and this week I'll be talking about conviction-based voting. Conviction voting is a voting style I quite enjoy, so much so that in a DAOathon in Miami during Art Basel 2022, Yellow Turtle and I, with the help of Kat, pitched a version of KEEZ that was entirely centered around conviction voting. We did not place despite the great crowd response. Nevertheless, let's dive in. Conviction voting is a voting method where an individual's governance weight increases based on the duration of their staked vote. Essentially, the DAO establishes the initial voting scale, and for each proposal, participants allocate their votes into each bucket representing their opinion on the matter. Proposals never close, but once a quorum is reached, the proposal executes. The longer a vote is staked in one bucket, the more vote it accrues. This reflects the conviction of the voter for that given opinion. Votes can be switched at any time, but the accrued weight resets starting the conviction process. So essentially, you allocate into one bucket, and then the longer it stays in there, the more it accrues, right? But why? How is it an improvement from what we currently have? There are a couple of really interesting issues that it works to solve. First being vote buying. Governance almost across the board is subject to vote buying and voter collusion. Wealthy individuals bribe other token holders to either sell them their tokens or vote in a specific direction that helps the wealthy benefactor. This is then used to swing votes. But with conviction voting, the risk of this is almost entirely eliminated. If it were still to continue, it would need to be a long drawn out process where the leverage would eventually shift in the minority's direction. It also helps against plutocracy, which plutocracy in certain situations is great, not in all. Plutocracy is governance by the wealthy. Conviction voting ensures that everyone starts at the same playing field, and you can outweigh anyone just based on conviction alone. It helps against Sybil attacks as well. The traditional Sybil attack is one where an individual with a significant token share splits his voting power between many Anon accounts and then has all of them spam the voting pools to overthrow a proposal. Seems like something we may have saw brewing in the LUKSO community the other day. This is again helpfully mitigated because everyone starts at the same point. Still potentially an issue considering many people are still able to potentially enter the pool, but we have other Sybil resistant tools to help, i.e. reputation systems like Heisenburgir spoke about, or like in my last talk, some more non-financialized governance strategies. Helps against last minute voter swings, which is a huge problem in a lot of financially token-based DAOs. Historically, the biggest proposal in MakerDAO's history was subject to a last minute voter swing when it looked like the vote was going to go in one direction, and then within the last 40 seconds of a vote, a whale came in and swung it roughly 20% the other direction. This problem is almost entirely resolved as well through conviction voting, simply based on the fact that it's not time-based. Because the proposal remains open all the time, then we don't have to worry about someone coming in last minute, right? Because there's no last minute. Helps with voter apathy, another issue mitigated through non-time-based voting. Voter turnout is historically low for DAOs, especially with the system where proposals never close. Users now have ample time to join a proposal and provide their opinion. So you don't miss all those voters just because it was open for a couple days or a week. And last, which I think is one of the most interesting, is a change of heart. As we know, situations change, new circumstances arrive, and opinions shift. Yet we haven't had a voting system in blockchains that reflects this conviction. Conviction voting enables this. Just to summarize here, there is one project that I'm currently familiar with that's using it. It's called the One Hive organization. I don't know how well it's working or what's going on there necessarily, but I know someone's implementing it. I think that this is just another form of non-financialized governance strategies, right? So combining this with the information that I shared last Lightning Talk, if you haven't caught that, go catch it on YouTube. We can really create some robust systems that are resistant to wealthy benefactors and a lot of the other issues that plague a lot of DAOs. So very interested in playing around with this more at KEEZ as the future goes on. That is 5 minutes. Is there a way to implement one vote per profile rather than one vote per coin while conviction voting so no one has a larger vote against another? Yes. So ultimately, the recommended strategy to do voter allocation at the outset for conviction voting is to do 1-to-1. So you just say every individual starts with one vote, and then the way that you accrue more weight is by being convicted on it, by staking your vote, right? So that's why the individuals with huge bags, they're not going to be able to come in and influence this decision making, because you have to just vote and then stick with it. I guess one way they could would be to get a bunch of people to go in and put on one decision and then just wait there for the proposal to execute. But again, as I said, the issue then turns towards the minority at some point, when, because they're the person who could pull their vote out and essentially take out all of those tokens, it would either be extremely expensive for that wealthy individual to continue doing that, or those people might just come up in group move against it again, right? Yeah. Okay, cool. Lastly, we have Fawn, who is going to talk about the dematerialized a bit. I just promoted her up. Fawn, how are you doing? I know you're in kind of tough shape right now.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yep.
Oh, amazing. Sorry guys, I have a very sexy husky voice at the moment because I'm really ill. So you're gonna have to bear with me because I'm probably not gonna be on my top form today. But I am gonna take you through, and let me see if I can share my screen real quick. You guys see that?
Yep.
So, welcome everyone to my fave 5 from Dematerialize. So let me just let you all know that this is obviously just me coming on as a human being, and letting you know my favorite. I mean, this was really hard for me because I had so many drops that Dematerialized have done over the years, that I absolutely love. But I tried to kind of find my favorite ones, and present them to you today, because I think a lot of people might have entered the ecosystem of LUKSO fairly recently and might not know the full context of everything that's happened with the dematerialized and how long we're going and the kind of history and stuff. So if I go to the next slide. So here are a bunch of, and this isn't the full amount, but this is a bunch of the dematerialized project archive that we've released over the years. So over the years, we've released, I think it's around about 40 drops, including airdrops, but 40 separate drops. I think altogether there was 30,000 items, individual items, that we've dropped over the years since 2021. So it's obviously been like a long labor of love. It was originally launched, Dematerialize was launched in 2020, and they kind of classified themselves as being an almost like playground for Web3, fashion and gaming communities. And they kind of tried to pave the way for that kind of luxury markets segment, enabling these brands and creators and users to like access and utilize these digital lifestyle goods. So I kind of want to go through a couple of the ones that I think are really iconic, so that you guys will have an idea of what I want to be collecting on secondary, because some of these I own, some of them I don't, and a lot of you might know that we're going to be migrating these assets very soon. So I wanted to show you my favorite pieces. So we'll start with my first one. A lot of you will know this. This is the Hex Jerzo. It's a very iconic piece that has been released by the Dematerialized. The mint was on December the 12th, 2020. It was our first ever drop. The supply was 1,212, and the mint price was 121 euros and 20 cents. And yes, it was designed by Shirin, who's still with us today, which is amazing. And she still continues to design a lot of Dematerializes drops. But yeah, it's just a beautiful piece. And I think just the legacy of it being the first digital fashion piece on the LUKSO blockchain. Yeah, it's just iconic. So that would be my first pick. Number 2, and these are all in a kind of order of drops as well. So I'm kind of taking you through the history here. The second one, this is something that maybe a lot of people don't really realize. A lot of Artifact fans might not realize that they've actually done a drop on LUKSO back in 2021, April the 16th, 2021. I chose these sneakers because they're really iconic in my eyes. There was only 10 of them released and they sold out super quick because they were only 10 euros. And the Artifact boys kind of gave it this futuristic, I mean, the whole collection is incredible, but these ones, I mean, they're really, really cool to me. And Artifact are known for their trainers. So I thought this would be the best piece to kind of showcase and stuff. But yeah, it's like kind of inspired by like medieval and ancient aesthetics mixed with like a punk alien mentality, is what the boys kind of described it as. So I think it's a really cool piece and something that maybe a lot of the kind of Artifact fans haven't seen before. So I wanted to kind of showcase that. And then the third one, so I actually own one of these and I really love this piece. It's the Chromatic Carl. This was the first drop that we did with Karl Lagerfeld. The supply is 77. The price was 177. So they were kind of playing with those like angel numbers. It was Carl's favorite number was number 7. So that's why we kind of played with those numbers. And yeah, I mean, it's just so iconic. I mean, if you know the dematerialized, you know that we've kind of played with this silhouette of the Carl and done many iterations of it, but this was one of the first ones. And yeah, just a grail in my eyes. Number 4, this is from Rebecca Minkoff and the Dematerialized. This is Persephone. It's like a collection that was all around like goddesses, and they did some amazing pieces. I think there was 3 full outfits, and then there was handbags, and just a really beautiful like collection of very feminine designs that had full outfits plus like extra pieces. And this was released in 2022. I didn't manage to get my hand on this particular one, but I will definitely be trying to trying to grab this on secondary at some point because I just think it's beautiful. And number 5, I chose the Teflon Sega hoodie, which I know we've got a lot of Teflon Sega fans probably in the audience right now. This is an absolute grail. There was only 3 of them. I believe that Teflon actually wore this within a music video as well, which is a really cool fact. This was minted in May 2022. And this is one of the rarer pieces from the entire collection, which I thought it's nice to share. And yeah, it was just a really iconic collection around one of his music releases. Sage, let me know how I'm doing on time. Am I going over?
You are over by about a minute and a half. But
oh no, I'm so sorry. Okay, well, I'm going to be really quick. I'm going to do a lightning fast drop of a couple of little alpha things that I wanted to leave you with.
Fawn, thank you for toughing it out while you're sick. That was a great presentation. I'd love seeing those. The Teflon drip is always great to see. And thanks again for coming on and giving us that alpha.
Thanks so much. Sorry that I'm so ill, guys.
Plenty fine. Great to see some alpha from Fawn. Great to hear from the new people, at least new to me, Octop and Repeatr. Hopefully those guys will be around. Definitely check them on Twitter. In the description for this video, when we put it out on YouTube, we'll have links for those guys as well, so you can keep up with their information. And again, we will be back next week on Tuesday. We'll announce the official time tomorrow. I'm thinking Tuesday at about 1 p.m. East. Might be earlier, might be later. Haven't decided yet. We'll decide by tomorrow, and we'll put it out in the tweet that we put out. So Look out for that. On our Twitter, we'll have all of that information. So just make sure you stay up there. So again, thanks everyone for coming, and we will see you next week.